according to Customs and Border Patrol. More than 30,000 of those 50,000 happening in California. I spoke with Pennsylvania Congressman Guy Reschenthaler about this and why so many Chinese nationals are coming to the U.S. right now in the open border. Watch.
They could be here to perhaps when China tries to invade Taiwan, they could try to attack critical infrastructure. They could try to foment civil unrest leading up to the 2024 election. They could be trying to infiltrate some of our sectors. We don't know. But knowing China and knowing the controls they have and knowing their long-term goal of supplanting the United States as the global superpower, we have to assume that they're here for nefarious reasons.
Joining me now is former U.S. Border Patrol Chief and Texas Public Policy Foundation Distinguished Senior Fellow for Border Security, Rodney Scott. Rodney, great to see you. Thanks so much for joining me this morning. You led the San Diego sector for years. What is your reaction to 50,000 Chinese nationals crossing the border into America just since October, 30,000 of those, the bulk, in San Diego?
So thank you for having me on this morning, Maria. And I think the really important thing to point out is the vast majority, like 90%, are single adults. So this is a significant threat to the country. The other piece that a lot of people don't understand is the language barrier. So in this case, when agents try to interview these individuals, it's very time consuming. And the number one most important thing in vetting is the face-to-face interview. The fingerprints and the criminal records checks rely on China sharing information with us, and they're not going to share information with us if they're sending us people that are going to do us harm.
So
this is a real national security threat.
Rodney, that's the point. Why are they coming here? What harm do you think they're trying to do? Are they trying to be saboteurs when and if China gives the directive to start creating, upset in America?
We would be speculating, but this is what we know for sure. The Chinese government has been very outspoken that to go to war, you don't actually have to fire bullets or missiles. There are other ways to do it, and it's much more impactful to actually just slowly infiltrate, influence the society, and change it from within. So whether this is like social media creating division and arguments within our own country, or that they're actually going to physically attack at some point, the fact that China is an actual nation-state threat to the United States is not debatable. They have it in writing. This is all controlled by China. And on top of this, we see the Mexican cartels working with China to bring fentanyl in, and they're killing more of our youth than any terrorist attack ever has before.
Yeah, poisonings.
Every
That's
angle
right.
you look at, this is a national security threat.
Well, now, we are learning that they want information from our military installations, right? I mean, that's one of the things. They had the surveillance balloon fly above the military installations. But now House Republicans are demanding answers after two illegal Jordanians. Jordanian nationals attempted to breach the Quantico military base. House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan sending a letter to the DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas asking about the men's immigration status and processing history. The Biden administration is scrambling now to close an intelligence gap. The New York Post is reporting 6 men on the terrorist watch list have entered the U.S. in the past 2 years. All were, quote unquote, vetted by border officers and let into the country. But those agents are barred from seeing certain classified information that would inform their decisions. Fox News' Bill Maluzhin was at the California border. He spoke to a Turkish migrant, and even he expressed concerns over our nation's safety from Turkey. Watch this.
Did you have to pay a cartel?
Yes.
How much?
Around 10,000.
10,000?
Yes. In fact, the American people is right, completely true. Who come into this country, they don't know. Well, okay, I'm good, but how if they're not good? How they have killer, psychopath else? No guarantee of that. Why, like no security, no security check, no background check.
No security check, no background check. You're worrying about who's crossing the border?
Yes. Of course, me, because I'm like, people are not look normal.
Rodney, how is it possible that we are allowing people on the terrorist watch list to come into the country? What level of terror threat are we facing right now due to this wide open border?
That's a great question. This administration, and remember, I was the chief for the first 7 months under the Biden administration, they refused to admit that there are threats to this country. And that last clip, the Bill did a great job, but guess what you didn't see? You didn't see a single Border Patrol agent anywhere near them.
Wow.
Because they're processing people that were caught yesterday because this massive chaos provides cover for the cartels and any nation state that wants to threaten us. And you know, the terrorist watch list is great. We do what we can to put people on there, but not every threat to the United States has already have their fingerprints taken and put on a watch list. We need to close the border. This is a huge national security threat.
Rodney, you did such a great job at the border. Thanks very much for your leadership. This requires a longer conversation, and I hope you'll come back soon to dig in further.